everyone, welcome to BioSecrets. Today we will discuss important MCQs of Biology, Class 11th, Chapter Body, Fluids and Circulation. Question number 1. Which of the following is not a component of plasma? Option A is albumin, option B is fibrinogen, option C is hemoglobin, option D is globulin. In this question, you have to tell which is not the component of plasma. Option C, hemoglobin, is the correct option here. So, hemoglobin is found in red blood cells, not in plasma. Plasma contains water, proteins like albumin, fibrinogen and globulin, ions and other substances. Option C, hemoglobin is not a component of plasma. Question number 2. Which type of WBC are involved in the immune response by producing antibodies? So, lymphocytes, option B is the correct option here. Because lymphocytes are the WBCs which are involved in the immune response by producing antibodies. Lymphocytes, particularly B cells, produce antibodies that help in fighting infections, forming a crucial part of the immune response. So, lymphocytes, particularly B cells, produce antibodies that help in fighting infections, forming a crucial part of the immune response. If any antigen enters our body, then B cells produce antibodies against that antigen and kill that antigen, and these antibodies fight with that antigen and remove it from our body. Question number 3. Which among the following is the correct blood group donor for a person with blood group AB? So, a person with blood group AB are universal recipient. So, all the blood groups A, B and AB, all the blood group persons can donate its blood to this person. Individuals with AB blood group are universal recipient as they have no anti-A or anti-B antibodies. So, जिन individuals का blood group AB है, वो किसी भी individual से blood ले सकते हैं, ठीक है, क्योंकि वो universal recipients है, उनमें antibody A और antibody B absent होती है, allowing them to receive blood from any group. तो वो किसी भी blood group वाले individual से blood receive कर सकते हैं. Individuals with AB blood group are universal recipients as they have no anti-A or anti-B antibodies, allowing them to receive blood from any group. Question number 4. Which valve is located between the left atrium and the left ventricle? So, option C is correct option here, mitral valve or bicuspid valve. It is located between the left atrium and the left ventricle of heart. The mitral valve, bicuspid valve, is present between the left atrium and the left ventricle and prevents the backflow of blood. What is the other name of mitral valve? Answer is bicuspid valve. What is the position of mitral valve or bicuspid valve? So, mitral valve or bicuspid valve is present between left atrium and left ventricle. Why it is present between left atrium and left ventricle? To prevent the backflow of blood, mitral valve is present between left atrium and left ventricle. Question number 5. The enzyme that catalyzes the conversion of carbon dioxide and water to carbonic acid. Answer is option number C, carbonic anhydrase. What is the position of carbonic anhydrase? Where it is present? So, it is present in red blood cells. What carbonic anhydrase facilitates? So, carbonic anhydrase facilitates the rapid conversion of carbon dioxide and water to carbonic acid. कार्बोनिक एनहाइड्रेस का फंक्शन है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड वाटर को कार्बोनिक एसिड में कन्वर्ट करना, which then dissociates into bicarbonate and hydrogen ion. फिर कार्बोनिक एसिड ब्रेक डाउन हो जाता है bicarbonate and hydrogen ions में. Question number 6. Which blood vessels have valves to prevent backflow of blood? So, veins are the blood vessels have valves to prevent backflow of blood. Veins carry blood back to the heart under low pressure and have valves to prevent backflow. वेन्स में लो प्रेशर होता है, बैक टू हार्ट लेकर जाती हैं ब्लड और उसमें वॉल्व्स प्रेजेंट होती हैं ताकि ब्लड बैक फ्लो न कर जाए. Question number 7. Which part of the respiratory system is responsible for the exchange of gases? Alveoli are the part of the lungs which is responsible for the exchange of gases. So, what is alveoli? Alveoli are tiny sac-like structures. Where alveoli are present? Alveoli are present inside the lungs. What is the function of alveoli? The function of alveoli is the actual exchange of gases. Which gases? Oxygen and carbon dioxide. By what method actual exchange of gases takes place in alveoli? It takes place by simple diffusion. Question number 8. Which of the following is the universal recipient blood group? Already discussed about universal recipient blood group. That is AB blood group is universal recipient blood group. AB blood group ही ऐसा blood group है जिसको कोई भी अपना blood donate कर सकता है. Individuals with blood group AB have no anti-A or anti-B antibodies. AB blood group के individuals में anti-A और anti-B antibodies absent होती हैं, making them universal recipient. So that's why AB blood group individuals can receive blood from any person. Question number 9. Which chamber of the heart pumps blood into the pulmonary artery? So right ventricle is the correct option here because right ventricle is the chamber of the heart which pump blood to the pulmonary artery. Now see double circulation. Deoxygenated blood pumped into the pulmonary artery is passed on to the lungs, from where the oxygenated blood is carried by the pulmonary vein into the left auricle. This pathway of right ventricle to pulmonary artery to lungs, lungs to pulmonary vein, and pulmonary vein to left auricle. This pathway constitutes the pulmonary circulation. Okay. Now the oxygenated blood entering the dorsal aorta is carried by a network of arteries, arterioles and capillaries to the tissues, from where the deoxygenated blood is carried by a system of veins, venules and vena cava and emptied it to the right auricle. This is the systemic circulation. What is the systemic circulation? Oxygenated blood from left ventricle goes to dorsal aorta, and this oxygenated blood from dorsal aorta goes to body parts and tissues, and from body parts and tissues deoxygenated blood goes to vena cava. Through vena cava, deoxygenated blood goes to right auricle of the heart. The systemic circulation provides nutrients, oxygen and other essential substances to the tissues and takes CO2 and other harmful substances away for elimination. Okay. So again see the question number 9. Which chamber of the heart pumps blood into the pulmonary artery? Option B, right ventricle is the correct option here. Question number 10. Which of the following statement is true about lymph? Option A, it transports oxygen. This is wrong. Option B, it is devoid of WBCs. White blood cells are present in the lymph, so it is also wrong. Transport nutrients and hormones. So it is true. Lymph transports nutrients and hormones. So option C is the correct option here. Option D is it is formed from bone marrow. This is also wrong statement. Now what transport lymph? So lymph transports nutrients, hormones and waste materials, and it plays a role in immune responses. Question number 11. The opening between the right atrium and the right ventricle is guarded by tricuspid valve. Option B is the correct option here. Tricuspid valve is present between the right atrium and the right ventricle, preventing backflow of blood during ventricular contraction. तो राइट एट्रियम और राइट वेंट्रिकल के बीच में ट्राइकस्पिड वॉल्व प्रेजेंट होता है. क्यों प्रेजेंट होता है? बिकॉज ये प्रिवेंट करता है कि ब्लड बैक फ्लो ना कर जाए वेंट्रिकुलर कॉन्ट्रैक्शन की वजह से. सो व्हाट इज द लोकेशन ऑफ ट्राइकस्पिड वॉल्व? इट इज प्रेजेंट बिटवीन राइट एट्रियम एंड राइट वेंट्रिकल. Why it is present between right atrium and right ventricle? To prevent backflow of blood during ventricular contraction. Tricuspid valve is present between right atrium and right ventricle. Question number 12. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding blood plasma? Option A, it is composed of 90 to 92% water. This is correct statement. Option B, it contains hormones and nutrients. It is also correct statement. Option C, it helps in the transport of oxygen. No, this is incorrect statement. So option C is the correct option here. Option D is it contains clotting factor. Yes, plasma contains clotting factors. So oxygen is primarily transported by hemoglobin in RBC, not by plasma. क्या RBCs में hemoglobin present होता है? Hemoglobin oxygen को carry करता है ऑक्सी hemoglobin के form में. Okay. Question number 13. Which component of blood helps in defense against diseases? So option C is the correct option. Leukocytes is the component of blood which helps in defense against diseases. So WBC's leukocytes are crucial in the body's defense mechanism against infections. Question number 14. Which part of the heart receives deoxygenated blood from the body? So option A is the correct option for question number 14 because right atrium is the part of the heart which receives deoxygenated blood from the body. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the superior and inferior vena cava. Question number 15. What percentage of carbon dioxide is transported as bicarbonate in the blood? So here option C is the correct option because 70% of carbon dioxide is transported as bicarbonates in the blood. Around 70% of carbon dioxide is transported as bicarbonate ions in the blood. Question number 16. What is the main function of erythropoietin? Option A is the correct option here because erythropoietin stimulates RBC production. Erythropoietin is a hormone produced mainly by the kidneys. Erythropoietin हार्मोन को मेनली कौन प्रोड्यूस करता है? किडनी प्रोड्यूस करती हैं. That stimulates the formation of red blood cells in the bone marrow. So which hormone produced mainly by the kidney? That is erythropoietin. What is the function of erythropoietin? Erythropoietin stimulates the formation of red blood cells. Where it stimulates the formation of red blood cells? Answer is bone marrow. Question number 17. Which of the following carries oxygenated blood? Option B is the correct option here because pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood. So pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. Question number 18. Which organ produces the hormone erythropoietin stimulating RBC production? Option B is the correct option here because kidney produces hormone erythropoietin which stimulates RBC production. The kidney produces erythropoietin which stimulates red blood cells production in response to low oxygen level. जब ऑक्सीजन का लेवल कम हो जाता है तब किडनी erythropoietin हार्मोन प्रोड्यूस करती है. erythropoietin हार्मोन क्या करता है? स्टिमुलेट करता है रेड ब्लड सेल के प्रोडक्शन को. Question number 19. Which of the following is not a granulocyte? So lymphocyte option D is not granulocyte. Lymphocytes are agranulocytes lacking granules in their cytoplasm unlike neutrophils, eosinophil and basophil. Lymphocytes agranulocytes हैं. यहाँ पर lymphocytes के cytoplasm में granules absent होते हैं. WBCs are of two types. One is granulocyte, another is agranulocyte. Granulocytes have granules in their cytoplasm. Agranulocytes do not have granules in their cytoplasm. Now, granulocytes are of three types. One is neutrophil. Number two is eosinophil. Number three is basophil. Agranulocytes are of two types. Number one is lymphocyte and number two is monocyte. You can learn granulocytes from an EB, agranulocytes LM. In which of the following statement is incorrect regarding arteries? Arteries के बारे में कौन सा statement incorrect है? So option A is they carry blood away from the heart. This is correct statement. Option B is they have thick elastic walls. Yes, this is also correct statement. Option C is they always carry oxygenated blood. This is incorrect statement. So option C is the correct option here. Option D is blood flows under high pressure. Yes, in case of arteries, blood flows under high pressure. So this is also correct statement. While most arteries carry oxygenated blood, देखिए सभी arteries oxygenated blood carry करती हैं except pulmonary artery because pulmonary artery carry deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. Question number 21. The average lifespan of human red blood cell is, option C is correct here, 120 days. Human RBCs have an average lifespan of about 120 days after which they are destroyed in the spleen. Human RBCs का average lifespan 120 days का होता है. 120 days के बाद वो spleen में जाकर destroy हो जाती हैं. Question number 22. Which part of the heart initiates the heartbeat? Option C is correct here, SA node. The sinoatrial node, SA node, is known as the natural pacemaker of the heart, initiating electrical impulses for each heartbeat. For every heartbeat, electrical impulse is generated by sinoatrial node. So this is natural pacemaker of the heart. Question number 23. Which blood component helps in transporting carbon dioxide? Hemoglobin, option A is the correct option here because hemoglobin is the component of blood which helps in transporting carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is transported in blood mainly as bicarbonate ion, but a portion also binds to hemoglobin as carbaminohemoglobin. देखिए 70% कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बाइकार्बोनेट आयंस की फॉर्म में ट्रांसपोर्ट होती है, but 20 to 25% of carbon dioxide binds to hemoglobin as carbaminohemoglobin. Okay. Question number 24. Which valves prevent the backflow of blood into the atria when the ventricles contract? So option B is the correct option here. Tricuspid and bicuspid valve prevent the backflow of blood into the atria when the ventricles contract. The tricuspid valve, right side. The bicuspid valve, left side, prevent the backflow of blood into the atria during ventricular contraction. Question number 25. Which type of blood vessel carries blood under high pressure? So option B is correct here because arteries carries blood under high pressure. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from the heart to various body parts under high pressure. देखिए हार्ट से बॉडी पार्ट्स में ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड को ट्रांसफर करने का वर्क करती हैं आर्टरीज, इसीलिए ब्लड का प्रेशर आर्टरीज में हाई होता है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 26. द लब साउंड ऑफ द हार्ट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय द क्लोजर ऑफ, ऑप्शन सी इज करेक्ट हियर, bicuspid and tricuspid valve. The lub sound or the first heart sound S1 is produced by the closure of the atrioventricular valves, the bicuspid or mitral valve and tricuspid valve at the beginning of ventricular systole. देखिए lub sound और the first heart sound S1 कब produce होती है? जब atrioventricular valves close होते हैं, means the bicuspid और tricuspid valve close होते हैं at the beginning of ventricular systole, heart produce lub sound. Question number 27. The primary factor that influences the rate of diffusion of gases is, option B is correct here, partial pressure gradient. The movement of gases across the respiratory membrane is driven by the differences in partial pressure. देखिए gases का जो movement होता है respiratory membrane के across, वो किसकी वजह से होता है? क्योंकि gases के partial pressure में difference होता है. Gases move करती हैं from an area of higher partial pressure to an area of lower partial pressure. Question number 28. Which protein in red blood cells binds with oxygen? Option B, hemoglobin is the correct option for question number 28 because hemoglobin protein in red blood cells binds with oxygen. So hemoglobin is the respiratory pigment in red blood cells that binds with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin, facilitating oxygen transport in the blood. Hemoglobin respiratory pigment है, कहाँ प्रेजेंट होता है? रेड ब्लड सेल्स में प्रेजेंट होता है. ऑक्सीजन के साथ बाइंड करके ऑक्सी हीमोग्लोबिन फॉर्म करता है. ऑक्सी हीमोग्लोबिन फॉर्म करने के बाद वो क्या करता है? ब्लड में ऑक्सीजन ट्रांसपोर्ट करता है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 29. विच कंपोनेंट ऑफ ब्लड इज प्राइमरीली रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर क्लॉटिंग? सो प्लेटलेट्स आर प्राइमरीली रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर क्लॉटिंग ऑफ ब्लड. Platelets or thrombocytes are cell fragments that play a crucial role in blood clotting by aggregating at the site of injury and facilitating the formation of blood clot. देखिए platelets और thrombocytes सेल के फ्रेगमेंट होते हैं, ये क्रूशियल रोल प्ले करते हैं ब्लड क्लॉट बनाने में, ठीक है, ब्लड क्लॉटिंग में. बाय एग्रीगेटिंग एट द साइट ऑफ इंजरी, जिस जगह चोट लग जाती है, इंजरी जिस जगह होती है, वहां पर ये प्लेटलेट्स और थ्रोम्बोसाइट्स एग्रीगेट होके क्या करते हैं? ब्लड क्लॉट का फॉर्मेशन करते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 30. द पेस मेकर ऑफ ह्यूमन हार्ट इज साइनोएट्रियल नोड. ऐसे नोड, ऑप्शन बी इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 30. Question number 31. Which blood group is considered as universal donor? Universal donor is blood group O. So option D is the correct option here. Universal recipient जो blood group है वो तो A B है, but universal donor blood group है blood group O. Individuals with blood group O negative are considered universal donor because their red blood cells lack A, B and RH antigen, reducing the risk of adverse reactions during transfusion. किसी पर्सन का अगर ब्लड ग्रुप ए बी है तो वो किसी भी पर्सन से ब्लड ले सकता है, रिसीव कर सकता है, बट अगर किसी पर्सन का ब्लड ग्रुप ओ है तो वो ओ ब्लड ग्रुप वाला पर्सन किसी भी पर्सन को ब्लड डोनेट कर सकता है. दैट्स वाई पर्सन विद ब्लड ग्रुप ओ is called universal donor and the person with blood group AB is called universal recipient. Question number 32. The double-walled membranous sac enclosing the human heart is called pericardium. The pericardium is a double-walled sac that surrounds and protects the heart, providing lubrication and reducing friction during heartbeat. देखिए, डबल वॉल्ड सैक पेरिकार्डियम क्या है? हार्ट की मेम्ब्रेन है जो हार्ट को प्रोटेक्ट करती है. हार्ट की आउटर कवरिंग है जो हार्ट को प्रोटेक्ट करती है फ्रॉम लुब्रिकेशन. देखिए, पेरिकार्डियम डबल वॉल्ड सैक है जो हार्ट को प्रोटेक्ट करती है, हार्ट की आउटर कवरिंग है, हार्ट को लुब्रिकेशन प्रोवाइड करती है और फ्रिक्शन को रिड्यूस करती है ड्यूरिंग हार्ट बीट. Question number 33. In the human heart, blood from the left atrium passes into the left ventricle through the. Option B is correct here. Bicuspid mitral valve. The bicuspid or mitral valve is located between the left atrium and left ventricle, ensuring unidirectional blood flow from the atrium to the ventricle. So, what is the position of bicuspid valve or mitral valve? It is located between. So, bicuspid or mitral valve is located between the left atrium and the left ventricle. Why it is present between left atrium and left ventricle? Because bicuspid or mitral valve ensures unidirectional blood flow from the atrium to the ventricle. Question number 34. The primary function of hemoglobin in red blood cells is to carry oxygen. Hemoglobin is a protein in red blood cells that binds to oxygen in the lungs and releases it in tissues, facilitating cellular respiration. हीमोग्लोबिन एक प्रोटीन है जो रेड ब्लड सेल्स में प्रेजेंट होता है और लंग्स में हीमोग्लोबिन ऑक्सीजन के साथ बाइंड हो जाता है और ऑक्सी हीमोग्लोबिन के फॉर्म में ब्लड में ट्रांसफर होकर टिश्यूज में ऑक्सीजन प्रोवाइड करता है, facilitating cellular respiration. Question number 35. Which of the following blood vessels carries oxygenated blood? Option B is the correct option here. Pulmonary vein is the blood vessel which carries oxygenated blood. The pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. Pulmonary vein oxygenated blood carry करती है कहाँ से कहाँ तक? Lungs से left atrium of the heart तक. Whereas the pulmonary artery carry करती है deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. देखिए, जितनी भी वेन्स प्रेजेंट हैं बॉडी में सब डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड को कैरी करती हैं एक्सेप्ट पल्मोनरी वेन. But pulmonary vein is the only vein which carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. Similarly, all the arteries present in our body carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery, because pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. Question number 36. Which of the following plasma proteins plays a crucial role in blood clotting? So, option C is the correct option here. Fibrinogen is the plasma protein which plays a crucial role in blood clotting. Fibrinogen is a plasma protein that is essential for blood clotting. Okay, during the clotting process, it is converted into fibrin which forms a mesh that helps in clot formation. देखिए, फिब्रिनोजन एक प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन होता है और ब्लड क्लॉटिंग के लिए ये असेंशियल है. फिब्रिनोजन के बिना ब्लड क्लॉट फॉर्म नहीं हो सकता. जब क्लॉटिंग प्रोसेस होता है तब फिब्रिनोजन फिब्रिन में कन्वर्ट होता है, फिर फिब्रिन जो है वो मैश बनाता है दैट हेल्प्स इन क्लॉट फॉर्मेशन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 37. द हेपेटिक पोर्टल वेन ड्रेन्स ब्लड टू द लिवर फ्रॉम द इंटेस्टाइन. ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट हियर. The hepatic portal vein carries nutrient-rich blood from the intestine to the liver for processing. देखिए, hepatic portal vein carry करती है nutrient-rich blood intestine से liver तक. Question number 38. Which plasma protein is primarily responsible for maintaining osmotic pressure? Option C is the correct option here. Albumin is the plasma protein which is primarily responsible for maintaining osmotic pressure. So albumin is the main plasma protein responsible for maintaining osmotic pressure, which is essential for the proper distribution of the body fluids between blood vessels and tissues. Question number 39. Which disease is characterized by a decrease in lymphocyte count? अगर lymphocyte count decrease हो जाते हैं तो कौन सी disease हो जाती है? Option A is correct here. Leukopenia is the disease characterized by a decrease in lymphocyte count. So leukopenia is a condition marked by a low white blood cell count, particularly affecting lymphocytes, which weakens the immune system. Question number 40. Which of the following is not a symptom of anemia? Option A is fatigue. Yes, fatigue is a symptom of anemia. Option B is pale skin. This is also a symptom of anemia. Excessive bleeding. This is not the symptom of anemia. So option C is correct here. Shortness of breath. Yes, this is also the symptom of anemia. So option C is the correct option here. Excessive bleeding is not a typical symptom of anemia. एनीमिया में एक्सेसिव ब्लीडिंग नहीं होने लगती है, बट इट इज एसोसिएटेड विथ क्लॉटिंग डिसऑर्डर्स. देखिए एनीमिया में क्लॉटिंग डिसऑर्डर्स होते हैं जैसे हीमोफीलिया. ठीक है, ये नहीं है कि एनीमिया हो गया तो एक्सेसिव ब्लीडिंग होने लगेगी. सो एक्सेसिव ब्लीडिंग इज नॉट अ टिपिकल सिम्टम ऑफ एनीमिया बट इज एसोसिएटेड विथ क्लॉटिंग डिसऑर्डर्स लाइक हीमोफीलिया. एनीमिया सिम्टम्स इंक्लूड फैटीग, पेल स्किन, शॉर्टनेस ऑफ ब्रीथ. Question number 41. Which condition is characterized by the formation of a clot within a blood vessel? अगर blood vessel में clot form हो गया है तो उस condition को क्या बोलेंगे? Thrombosis. Option B is the correct option for question number 41. So thrombosis is the formation of a blood clot, thrombus inside a blood vessel, obstructing the flow of blood. देखिए अगर ब्लड वेसल के अंदर ब्लड क्लॉट फॉर्म हो गया है सो उस कंडीशन को हम थ्रोम्बोसिस बोलेंगे. ठीक है, तो फिर वो जो थ्रोम्बस फॉर्म हुआ है, ब्लड क्लॉट फॉर्म हुआ है ब्लड वेसल में, वो ब्लड फ्लो को ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट करता है, रोकने का काम करता है, स्टॉप करने का काम करता है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 42. विच कंडीशन इज कैरेक्टराइज्ड बाय persistently high blood pressure? persistent अगर पेशेंट को हाई ब्लड प्रेशर है so that condition is called hypertension. option B is the correct option for question number 42. देखिए हाइपरटेंशन एक टर्म है ब्लड प्रेशर की. मीन्स कि अगर ब्लड प्रेशर नॉर्मल ब्लड प्रेशर से हाई हो जाता है, मीन्स अगर ब्लड प्रेशर 120/80 mmHg से हाई हो जाता है so that condition is called hypertension. In this measurement, 120 mmHg is the systolic or pumping pressure and 80 mmHg is the diastolic or resting pressure. If repeated checks of blood pressure of an individual is 140/90 or higher, so it shows hypertension. Okay, high blood pressure leads to heart disease and also affects vital organ like brain and kidney. Question number 43. Which heart disease is caused by the blockage of coronary artery? अगर coronary artery block हो गई है तो कौन सी heart disease होगी? Option A is the correct option here. Myocardial infarction. So myocardial infarction occurs when the blood supply to the heart muscle is blocked, often due to coronary artery disease. Come to the question number 44. Which condition is characterized by the narrowing of arteries due to the deposition of cholesterol? So option B, atherosclerosis is the correct option here because atherosclerosis is the condition characterized by the narrowing of arteries due to the deposition of cholesterol. Atherosclerosis is caused by the build-up of cholesterol and plaque in arteries, leading to the narrowed blood vessels and reduced blood flow. एथेरोस्क्लेरोसिस में आर्टरीज में कोलेस्ट्रॉल डिपॉजिट हो जाता है, प्लैक बिल्डअप हो जाता है, आर्टरीज का साइज नैरो हो जाता है एंड देन ब्लड फ्लो भी रिड्यूस हो जाता है. ओके, क्वेश्चन नंबर 45. द लार्जेस्ट आर्टरी इन द ह्यूमन बॉडी इज, ऑप्शन सी इज करेक्ट हियर, एओर्टा. The aorta is the largest artery carrying oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to all the parts of the body. Aorta largest artery है जो oxygenated blood carry करती है left ventricle से body के सभी parts में. Question number 46. Which of the following is not a characteristic of vein? Option A is दे हैव वॉल्व। देखिए वेन्स में वॉल्व्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, सो दिस इज करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. Option B is they carry blood towards the heart. This is also correct statement. Veins carry blood towards the heart. Option C is they carry oxygenated blood. No, veins carry deoxygenated blood. Except pulmonary vein. Only pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood. Okay. So option C is correct here. This is not a characteristic of vein. Option D is they have thin walls. Yes, veins have thin walls. So veins usually carry deoxygenated blood except for pulmonary vein that carry oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. Question number 47. Which condition is characterized by low hemoglobin level? Option B is correct here. Anemia is the condition which is characterized by low hemoglobin level. Anemia is a condition where the hemoglobin concentration in the blood is lower than normal, leading to reduced oxygen transport. Question number 48. Which blood vessel carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart? Option B is correct here. Pulmonary vein is the blood vessel which carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. So the pulmonary vein carries oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. Question number 49. Which blood component is responsible for immunity? Option B is correct here. WBC is the blood component responsible for immunity. White blood cells, WBCs, are responsible for the immune response and defense against infections. Now come to the last question of this chapter. The dup sound of the heartbeat is produced by the closure of. Option B, semilunar valves, is the correct option here because the dup sound of heartbeat is produced by the closure of semilunar valves. The dup sound or the second heart sound S2 is produced by the closure of the semilunar valves, aortic and pulmonary valves at the end of ventricular systole. During each cardiac cycle, two prominent sounds are produced which can be easily heard by the stethoscope. The first heart sound, lub, is associated with the closure of the tricuspid and bicuspid valve, whereas the second heart sound, dub, is associated with the closure of the semilunar valves. These sounds are of clinical diagnostic significance. Okay. In the next video, we will discuss next chapter.